Hey, you know, the grip isn't the sexiest thing you can talk about in a YouTube video, but for most golfers, it's what really wrecks them before they even start the swing. I would estimate that 80 or 90% of golfers out there watching this have a mediocre or worse grip. So right after this, I want to show you a really kind of a hidden secret key that's going to help you improve your grip and hit longer and straighter drives. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Steve from hititlonger.com. I'm on a journey to hit longer and straighter from tee to green. If you share in that journey, I hope you hit the subscribe button. All right, so I don't think I've ever seen this aspect of the left-hand grip discussed on a YouTube video before. So we're gonna kind of call it our hidden secret key, hitting the ball longer and straighter consistently. Now, how do you define a really good grip? Well, a grip has got to do two things for you. A good grip has got to respond when you try to apply force to the grip to get it to accelerate into the ball. We've got to have really good efficiency. So if the club is not responding, you know, a poor grip, you can try to throw that club or try to accelerate that club into the ball. And if you have a poor grip, it's simply not going to respond. That force is just not going to get into the grip and make it go. It's going to be like wasted energy, like you've got a really powerful car, but you hit the pedal and it doesn't respond. You expect that when you hit the pedal, you're going to get a good, strong response. And the same thing, the difference between a good grip and a bad grip. A good grip will respond with acceleration when you ask for it by applying force out the hands into the grip. Now, the second thing a good grip will do that a bad grip will be not good at all is the freewheeling part of the swing. Now, we know that we peak our wrist forces right about here, but after this, the forces going into the grip precipitously drop down towards zero as we come into the ball. So it's almost like a freewheeling effect where we get the hell out of the way of the momentum of the club. If you don't have a grip that can do that because the grip is being held in such a way that you have to squeeze it or try to control it down here, then you're not going to get the freewheeling effect. You're going to lose out on a lot of the acceleration and club face control right through the impact zone. So what I have found with at least 80 or 90% of the students that come to me for one-on-one instruction is they don't have a vacuum seal. Let me explain what the vacuum seal is. If I take a grip, I can take a proper grip. You have the face pointing up, put your palm out like this, put your thumb underneath, let it rest in the fingers, the last pad of the fingers, and of course you're going to scrunch your index finger just a little bit so that it runs through the second pad of the index finger, something like this. So the thumb is underneath to support it, like this. Now, if I turn it 90 degrees towards you, and don't worry, I'll get a closer shot of this in a second, you're going to see the vacuum seal. My pinky is wrapped around this club perfectly. I could not get a toothpick in here. Now, the same thing is true on the index finger side. If you take a look at this, right here in the index finger, the same thing. I've got a vacuum seal, and you can see that I couldn't get a toothpick in there either. Now, what does this do for me when I have this perfect vacuum seal on all fingers? It's not that I'm squeezing to produce the vacuum seal. In fact, I'm gripping extremely lightly. It's just simply the way that my fingers are conforming with the curve of the grip. I can grip this incredibly lightly, almost letting go of it, and yet not lose the vacuum seal. So it's not about squeezing with pressure. It's about the mold that your hand gets in. It's also about having the right size grip for your hand and your fingers especially. Notice here that my third and fourth fingers can come down and touch my palm. My second finger and my pinky can almost reach my palm. Now, I notice most people, they can't get anywhere close to this. It means they've got a grip that's just simply too big for their fingers, and they're gonna have to grip it in a more inefficient way and possibly squeeze it harder to keep control. So you get that vacuum seal going for you. And number one, without having to squeeze this thing more than it needs to, I can apply this initial burst to start the swing like this, and I'm gonna get 100% efficiency out of it. That means that every muscular contraction I'm using is the club shaft is gonna respond to it, because I'm gonna get the force efficiently into the grip. And the second thing, since I am squeezing this so lightly and I've got a grip formed on here, what we're after in our freewheeling phase is as close to a pendulum as we can get. In other words, there's nothing interfering with gravity swinging this club through, and we want to get the hell out of the way of this momentum and this acceleration that we've built in the first 2/3 of the downswing. We're getting out of the way and we're letting the club freewheel just like this. So I can go from 90 around to 90. See how quickly I can let the wrist go from 90 around to 90 on the other side. And really, I'm just getting out of the way and I'm letting gravity do all that work for me. I'm not putting much effort into it from here to here. The club is just freewheeling, but I've got to have a grip that will allow it to. Most golfers that I see, they squeeze tight right at the moment of impact, and it's like applying the brakes. Don't apply the brakes. We want to apply full acceleration here, and then we want to just coast from here to here and get out of the way of that club head so it can continue to speed up. All right, let's take a look at one. You're going to see that I'm going to get a really nice accelerating response back here as I try to push force from my wrists into the club grip. And then you're going to see a really nice, quick rehinging, because I have not hit the brakes through impact. I've let it freewheel. Let's check it out. So you can see in that slow-mo swing that since I'm out of the way and I'm letting this thing truly freewheel, it's not going to end up lining up with my right arm at this point. It's going to be approaching a 90-degree angle this way. That shows that truly I was freewheeling and allowing the free pendulum to happen through impact, which really maximizes our speed and distance. So keep this tip in mind the next time you go to the range. Practice it at home with just a small practice club. You can practice this on the sofa of getting this vacuum seal in the pinky. Can't stick a toothpick in there anywhere, so I don't have to squeeze to keep control. I can grip extremely lightly, gently. Same thing on the index side. You can see that index finger right there is got a vacuum seal. Again, I can be super relaxed in the wrist and hand. It's not a grip anymore to me, it's simply a touch pad. And if I get my fingers in the right mold, get my 2 vacuum seals, it's really all 4 fingers are vacuum sealed, then I can get the most distance and control out of my drives. Hey, I'm Steve. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll head over to hititlonger.com for over 100 more great articles and videos that I think are going to help improve your game. And as usual, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.